Welcome to the Shadow Players' first ever radio play. We are so excited to have you with us. For your listening enjoyment, we encourage you to connect to a speaker or television in your home and minimize distractions for the length of our play, which is about 50 minutes. Due to COVID-19, the Shadow Players have been absent from the stage, and we have sorely missed it as well as all of you. However, I'm pleased to announce that we will be making a full return with our 2022 season. In the meantime, we've been working on ways to bring you these original stories we so love to tell in a safe way for both you, our audience members, as well as our company. Stay tuned for something coming up this fall, a special partnership that we'll be bringing to all of you. And of course, our main production that we have been busy working on is the play which you're about to hear in a moment.
So, journey back with us to the golden age of radio. This is back in a time when that was the television, or cable, or all those things we have now. The family would gather around a piece of furniture, much like this, and someone would tune the channel, listening through the static until they heard that voice that carried everyone into imagination. Sometimes it was an adventure or a comedy, or sometimes just music. Or it would be, like what we'll present to you, a murder mystery. It is June 1937, and the McCoy Broadcasting Company is presenting to its audience the 200th episode of the Belinda Ruggles Mystery, which is part of the McCoy Mystery Hour. Now, as a special gift to their listeners, someone has come up with the brilliant idea to have a backstage recording. Well, this idea quickly goes awry, and instead it turns into chaos and also hilarity. So sit back, listen, and enjoy as we present to you Error on the Airwaves.
This is a recording of the final show for the 1936 to 1937 season, episode 252 of McCoy Broadcasting Company's McCoy Mystery Hour, series number 200 of the Belinda Ruggles Mysteries, The Curse of the Pharaoh's Scarab. In honor of the 200th episode, we will be recording a behind-the-scenes edition of the Belinda Ruggles Mysteries for all our loyal listeners to be aired during our summer special programming. Yes? One moment while I stop the recording. I think I have it. Are you the girls from the agency?
Yep, I'm Lucille Lamont, and these are the Zeller sisters. They sing, they dance, they act, and they can sell you product.
Really?
Give her the smiles, girls.
We're on radio.
That's okay. Those sweet smiles will shine out of the studio, go through the radio waves, and come right out of people's radio sets.
And into the listeners' hearts?
Forget their hearts. It goes right into their pockets.
Amazing. Can they sing?
Can they sing? Nightingales kill themselves after they hear these songbirds.
Charming. Can I hear them?
Girls, give the nice lady a sample.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me
That's enough, girls. We don't sing for free.
Can they read? I mean, dramatically?
Give her some Shakespeare.
Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? But soft, but light from yonder window breaks. It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Dabble, dabble, boil and trouble.
Fine, they're hired. What are their names?
Iris, Rose, Petunia.
And you're Lucille.
Violet. Lucille Lamont is my stage name.
Why do you have a... I don't want to know. Everyone's last name is Zeller?
What else would it be?
Never mind. The contract is in the other room. Since they're minors, I'll need their mother or father to sign it.
Dad's out of the picture and Mom can't get off work.
Then I'll need their agent to sign it. Do they have an agent?
Of course. My card.
Lucille Lamont, agent of Rising Stars. I'm guessing the Zeller sisters are the Rising Stars?
You know it, sister, and you're getting in on the ground floor.
All of you, follow me. We'll get the contract signed.
You won't regret it.
I think I already do.
What's our cut? Yeah, what do we get?
We split it. Even Stevens 4 ways.
That seems fair.
And my 10% cut as your agent.
What?
And 25% as your manager.
That seems fair. Shut up, Petunia!
Feldman! Feldman! Where are you?
I'm coming, Mr. Wilson. Here's your Wall Street Journal.
Where's my...
Your Coke? It's right here.
Where is everyone else? Late as usual.
Am I late? Oh, Miss Feldman, has Ellie arrived?
No, Mr. Robinson, you're fine. And no, Ellie Ramsey is not here yet.
Oh, good, good. Oh, my dear, could you get me a coffee?
Certainly.
Cream, extra sugar, please? Oh, good evening, Dick.
It's Richard.
I can't believe there isn't any coffee in this place.
I know, I'm dying for a cup, and I'll give you one guess who drank it all. Hello, Louis! Hello, Dickie. Don't you both look so handsome? I can't decide which one of you I'd rather date.
Hello, Dolly.
Her name is Edith Bickle. Dolly Peacock is a chorus line dancer.
Dickie, you're so smart.
It's Richard.
Howdy, y'all. Bless my soul, if it isn't our owner's very own niece, Miss Bonnie McCoy.
Howdy, Miss Bonnie. Why, you're just blooming like a yellow rose of Texas.
Why, Dolly and Sonny, you two say the nicest things.
Miss McCoy, have you been practicing your British accent for the show?
Why, yes, I have, Mr. Robinson. Would you like to hear it?
How did I end up with this group of idiots?
Because, Wilson, I signed you to a 1-year contract when no one would give you the time of day, you pain in my neck.
Howdy, Miss Ramsey. Maybe my Uncle Tex will straighten this out when he gets here tonight.
Wait, what? Tex? I mean, Mr. McCoy, here, tonight? Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. Am I getting fired?
Great. That's all we need. Why doesn't someone just kill me?
With pleasure. You know, I know a guy who can do it, too.
Oh, he definitely does.
Oh, why, you're just funnier than a tumbleweed riding backwards on a bullfrog.
Your coffee, Louis. Does everyone have their scripts?
Hold it. Where's my leading lady?
Miss Ramsey, I am here. The show may begin.
Catherine Dandridge.
Miss Standridge, where are you putting all those packages?
The girls will take care of them. Just set them down over there, dears. Oh, and take Antoinette with you as you leave.
May we begin, Miss Dandridge?
Why, certainly, Miss Ramsey.
Finally. Feldman?
Places, everyone!
Miss Ramsey, is it true?
What?
Is he coming?
Who?
Of course it's true. I called my Uncle Tex and told him how great I was in this show. He's coming faster than a tornado across a prairie. He's in town for business, so I invited him to come on down.
Oh, I just know something is going to go wrong. My sweat glands are expanding. He'll fire me. I know it.
Oh, calm down, Louis. It isn't always about you.
And I suppose it's always about you, Kate.
Yes.
Calm down, Louis. We don't know Tex McCoy is actually coming.
Miss Ramsey.
Busy enough with the Lone Star Oil and Gas companies?
Or his Titan Train.
Or Lone Star Film.
Ma'am.
People, it's just a rumor. He is not coming.
Ma'am.
What, Feldman?
He's coming.
What?
He called this afternoon while you were at lunch.
And?
He's here.
Where's here?
Right here!
I'm going to faint.
Get a hold of yourself, Louis. Hello, Mr. McCoy.
I know you. You're Miss Catherine Dandridge of the silver screen. You're even prettier in person.
Why, thank you, Mr. McCoy.
Call me Tex.
If you insist, Tex.
Howdy, Uncle Tex.
How's my little blue bonnet?
Just dandy.
Blue bonnet?
Yes, sir. Named after the state flower of Texas. Now let's get going. I can't wait to watch this show.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. McCoy, but no one is allowed on the soundstage during the show.
Sorry, cowpoke, but all the parts are taken.
Are they now, you whippersnapper? Then I'll take your part.
Mr. McCoy, Mr. Wilson plays a British butler and Archie.
Dandy. I'll be the butler.
But, sir, Mr. McCoy, sir, you will have to speak in a British accent.
Shucks. How hard can it be?
This is a joke.
You know, Mr. Wilson, you're what I like to call a Texas cow pie.
And they have him playing my boyfriend, Uncle Tex.
He's that so bluebonnet. That ain't right. Ellie, let's make that young good-looking cowboy her boyfriend. We just switch him up.
Miss Ramsey, it's almost time.
Mr. McCoy, you're Jeeves, the butler. Sonny, you're Archie. Wilson, you're McGillicuddy.
I don't believe this. I can't learn a Scottish accent in a new role in 5 minutes.
Don't you like your new part, Dickie?
My name is Richard.
Come on, Tex. I'll help you. You'll be wonderful. Just how rich are you, darling?
Why, I'm so rich, Miss Dandridge. I don't even know how rich I am.
Oh my, that just fills me with inspiration.
Well, Feldman, here goes nothing.
Places, everyone. Final call.
Yahoo!
Stay positive, Miss Ramsey. It might not be too bad.
Do you really believe that?
And we're live in 4, 3, 2, 1. Good evening to everyone in the audience listening at home, and welcome to McCoy Broadcasting Company's McCoy Mystery Hour. Tonight, we bring you another exciting episode of the Belinda Ruggles Mysteries. The McCoy Mystery Hour is sponsored by Sanders Pharmaceuticals, makers of Sanders Smelling Salts and Sleeping Pills. Works like magic. Tonight's installment, The Curse of the Pharaoh's Scarab. The McCoy Mystery Hour is recorded live from McCoy Entertainment Building, New York City, New York.
But first, a message from our sponsor and the McCoy Cowgirls.
Sometimes I just can't go to sleep. All the worries of the day are just too much.
I spend all night just counting those little sheep.
1, 2.
475.
Still awake? Then take my advice.
When you're tired but just can't sleep, take just one pill, then you're out deep.
Is that the Sandman?
No, it's Sanders Sleeping Pills.
Works like magic.
In this fast-paced world, your mind may keep running even when your eyes are closed. For those nights when counting sheep just isn't enough, then it's time for Sanders Sleeping Pills. One little white pill from our very own dark blue jar, and you will be sleeping as sound as a baby. Found at your favorite local pharmacy, you can purchase Sanders Sleeping Pills in all 3 sizes: small, medium, and insomnia size for those with big sleeping problems. Don't spend another sleepless night when you can end your troubles with a lullaby and a pill. Remember,
when you're tired but just can't sleep, take just one pill, then you're out deep.
Sanders
Sleeping Pills.
And now, Belinda Ruggles solves The Curse of the Pharaoh's Scarab and English Country Estate of Lord Hugh Pendergast, June 1887. The Lord and Lady's only child, Miss Alice Pendergast, awaits the arrival of her fiancé, Lieutenant Archibald Copley, of Her Majesty's Royal Guard, most recently stationed in Cairo, Egypt. We join Lady Evelyn Pendergast and Miss Alice in the sewing room.
Mother, I am so nervous. I have not seen Archie in 6 months.
I know, my dear, but everything will be fine. Come in.
Good afternoon, Lady Pendergast.
Tex? Oh yes, Jeeves.
There is a guest at the door. She said you were expecting her.
She?
Oh, my friend, Miss Belinda Ruggles. We were classmates many years ago. I had written her and invited her to our estate here at Dunhill Manor, should she return from the States. Oh, come, Alice, you must meet her. Belinda, how wonderful.
Hello, Evelyn. I brought this young gentleman with me. I met him on the train, and he was kind enough to escort me here.
Good day, ladies.
Archie, you're here.
Hello, Miss Alice. I'm so happy to see you, dearest.
Oh, come, Belinda. I'll have Millie show you to your room. Millie!
I'm here, Mom. This way, Miss Ruggles.
Lieutenant Coakley, Jeeves will show you to your room, but I am sure you would prefer to see Lord Pendergast first?
Yes, Lady Pendergast. I would like to report to him the affairs in Egypt since the Lord's last visit there.
Jeeves, see Lieutenant Coakley to the library. I believe you will find Lord Pendergast there.
Very good, madam. Lieutenant.
Later that day, we find Miss Ruggles and Lieutenant Coakley with the Pendergast family in the garden for afternoon tea. Joining the Lord and Lady are Miss Alice and Lady Pendergast's parents, Colonel and Madam Barrett.
Tea is served, Lord Pendergast.
Very good, Jeeves.
Our cook, Gerta, makes scrumptious cucumber sandwiches, and her homemade lemon curd is quite delectable. What do you think, Belinda?
It's all so wonderful. I have not had a proper English tea in a lovely garden like yours in years. The topiaries are as beautiful as the food is delicious.
Our gardener, Mr. McGillicuddy, is a master of the clippers. Ah, there he is now. McGillicuddy! Mr. McGillicuddy! A moment.
Really, Hugh? The help at tea? It is most improper.
Aye, me lord.
Miss Ruggles was admiring your topiary skill.
Thank ye, ma'am. 'Tis most gracious of ye. Now I best be hasting back to me work.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
I cannot understand a word that comes out of that Scots's mouth. Half the time I think he's talking in Gaelic, madam?
Now, Colonel, you need not worry. You cannot hear half of what anyone says anyway.
Hey?
Precisely.
Lieutenant Coakley, you informed me that you had a presentation to make. Might this be the best time?
Thank you, sir. Lady Pendergast, Colonel, Madam, Miss Ruggles, if you would allow me. Miss Alice, in honor of our engagement, I have brought this gift to you from Egypt.
Oh my, Archie, it's
It's the famous scarab of Pharaoh Ramses II. My team searched 3 years for this artifact.
Why, Lieutenant, I've read about this scarab. The British Museum of Egyptology in London has advertised that they would buy it from its owner for a small fortune.
They'll have to talk to Miss Alice then, because she is the rightful owner.
But how did you find it, Archie? I mean, Lieutenant, when my father could not?
Dumb luck, I guess. I followed your father's notebook on the subject, looked again, and there it was for the finding. Poppycock! That scarab cannot be found unless it wants to be found. It's cursed, and anyone who owns it will be cursed.
What do you mean, Colonel?
It was given to Pharaoh Ramses II by a mysterious stranger. The stranger then warned the Pharaoh to no longer ignore Moses' request to free the Israelite slaves. Instead of following the stranger's advice, the Pharaoh had the stranger put to death.
Let me guess. What followed was the night of Passover and the angel of death, who killed the firstborn sons of non-believers, including the Pharaoh's own child.
To own the scarab is to bring death unto the owner's family.
I am the lord of this manor, and I declare the only thing that is poppycock is the colonel's story.
I will not sit here and suffer such abuse!
Oh dear, there he goes again. His temper's gotten so short recently. I will excuse myself to see after the old boy.
I'm sorry. I had no idea of the scarab's history. When Lord
That's quite enough, Lieutenant. I suggest we all retire to our rooms.
Belinda, aren't you going to join us?
I will be with you in a moment, Evelyn. I just wish to enjoy the gardens a while longer.
Excuse me, Mum. I must clean the tea straight away.
Millie, you seem somewhat distracted. Is there something you want to tell me?
Yes, Mum. Well, that is, let me make sure no one is in earshot.
What is wrong, my dear?
A few months ago, Lord Pendergast let the cook and gardener go after years of good service. Mr. and Mrs. Trumbull had been faithful employees for I don't know how long.
What did Lady Pendergast think of this move?
She was beside herself. It's the only time I ever heard them argue.
And then he hired Goethe and Mr. McGillicuddy?
Yes, Mum.
As they say in America, I think I will go see what's cooking.
You do that, Mum.
Hello? Why, something smells delicious. You must be Goethe.
What are you doing here?
I'm Belinda Ruggles. I just wanted to compliment you for a lovely tea.
Oh, danke.
Have you enjoyed your stay at Dunhill Manor?
Oh ja, Fräulein.
How did you come to be employed here?
Fräulein Snyder, you're paid to cook, not to bother the Lord's guest.
Oh, Mr. McGillicuddy, she was not bothering me.
I ken just what you're doing. I think you should be going to your room now. It's not proper for a lady to be conversing with the help.
Mr. McGillicuddy, are you threatening me?
Miss Ruggles.
Jeeves?
Miss Ruggles, it will soon be time for dinner. I am sure you would like to rest beforehand.
Thank you, Jeeves. I believe I would.
Your room, Mum.
Jeeves, have you been here long?
My father was hired by the Colonel decades ago. I grew up here. Lord Pendergast was gracious enough to keep me on after my father left, and he became Lord of Dunhill. He's a good man.
Thank you, Jeeves.
Later that night, the residents and their guests are found in the dining hall at Dunhill Manor. We find the dinner in progress.
Another excellent meal. But I was expecting an English one.
Oh, I thought we would surprise you with Goethe's specialty.
I love Gerda's sauerbraten and spätzle. And wait till you taste her apple strudel. Oh, it's to die for.
Don't be silly, my dear. People have been killed for less.
You've been quiet tonight, Colonel.
He's feeling a little under the weather this evening.
I am sorry. This is all my fault. I should have never...
Oh no, Archie. It was a perfect gift. I will always cherish it.
Or we could sell it to the museum and have enough money to set us up for life.
What?
I spoke with your father last night, and he promised to speak with the curator of the British Museum.
Father, that is my engagement gift.
Alice, calm yourself, young lady. I will not be having this outburst at the table.
Then I will no longer sit at this table.
Miss Alice, please. As your fiancé, I must insist.
You must insist. You must insist. Is that how you treat your fiancé? Then this engagement is over.
Alice! Alice! Excuse me, please, my lord, my lady.
That's what this bloody curse will do to our family. I warn you to get rid of it.
Colonel!
Good night.
I best be looking after the Colonel. Millie! Yes, Mum. I will help you to your room. And then bring some strudel and tea up. Yes, Mum. And Millie? I know, Mum. A little brandy on the side. Good girl. It's for my rheumatism.
Oh dear. Goethe,
You called?
we'll have our tea and strudel on the veranda.
Ja, Frau Pendergast.
Come, Miss Ruggles. I have an arm for each lovely lady left at the table.
You are a true gentleman, Lord Pendergast.
Thank you, Miss Ruggles.
Evelyn, I believe Goethe outdid herself with the strudel. I am stuffed.
Miss Snyder and Mr. McGillicuddy do an excellent job.
Huh.
Is there a problem, Evelyn?
With their work? No.
My wife is a sentimentalist. The Trumbles were our previous gardener and cook. Good people, but they had gotten old. It was time.
I'm sorry. I did not mean to bring up such a sensitive subject.
That's all right, Belinda. It's just that the new help are different.
Of course they're different. They're not doddering old fools who cost a fortune and could do nothing.
Hugh!
I am sorry. I should not have been so short. I will leave you two ladies to yourselves. I am sure you have a great deal of catching up to do. Miss Ruggles, Evelyn.
Good night, Lord Pendergast.
Good night, Hugh. I am sorry for all the tension since you arrived at the manor.
Do not worry. Evelyn, are you all right?
I suppose so. It's just that... Oh, Belinda, I should not be burdening you with my problems.
Nonsense.
Well, everything seemed fine until Hugh came back from Egypt. He became short and secretive. He fired the Trumbles over my parents' objections. And then he brings in those two.
I understand. And what about Archibald?
Well, Hugh invited him to the manor for the weekend, and he's the son of an officer in my husband's old regiment. By the end of the weekend, Alice was in love. 2 months later, they were engaged to be married, and then he was off to Egypt.
I am sure things will work out.
Oh, I hope so.
I would suggest a good night's sleep.
It is 2 a.m., and all are asleep in Dunhill Manor, or so it would appear.
That blue bonnet!
Uncle Tex, it's part of the show.
Shucks. Lord Pendergast, the sound of gunshots came from the library.
Quickly, Jeeves. Keep the women in their rooms and get me my hunting rifle. I have my service revolver with me.
I have already retrieved and loaded the rifle.
Good man. Follow me.
Who is that behind us?
Miss Ruggles, go back to your room where it is safe.
I have my derringer. I will be fine.
Then stay behind us.
The shots came from the library.
The library doors are open. There's a body lying on the floor near the fireplace.
Stop there!
My lord, the colonel is dead on the floor by your safe. There is someone standing over the body.
Careful, he has a pistol.
Stop and drop that pistol. Now, turn around slowly.
Archie!
So ends Act 1 of The Curse of the Pharaoh's Scarab. Stay tuned. Tonight's broadcast has been brought to you by Sanders Smelling Salts and Sleeping Pills. This evening's show is starring Miss Catherine Dandridge as the great crime solver Belinda Ruggles. You can see Miss Dandridge on the silver screen version of the classic Madame Bovary, with Miss Dandridge in the lead role. Our special guest in tonight's show is none other than Tex McCoy, owner of the McCoy Broadcasting Network.
Before we return to our show, it's time for another visit from the McCoy Cowgirls.
My granny was visiting last weekend when she suddenly dropped like a sack of potatoes. My grandpa just clunked over while reading in his rocker. The book hit his dog Rover right in the head.
Poor Rover was knocked out cold.
One sniff of Sandra's smelling salts, and Granny was up on her feet and raring to go.
I held the bottle under Grandpa's nose, and he was wide awake and rocking away.
I did the same with Rover, but he was still stiff as a board. Ow! I mean, he was up and wagging his tail.
When Mother Nature knocks you out, just one small sniff will make you shout.
Was that thunder?
No, it's Sandra's smelling salts.
Works like magic.
Do you have someone in the family who has always been a little lightheaded? Does Grandma seem to faint at every family party? Or does little Johnny get woozy in church? Your family doctor recommends a cool, damp towel to the forehead and a restful place of repose. To bring that someone to their senses, make sure you bring Sandra's smelling salts with you wherever you go. Available at your local pharmacy. Remember,
when Mother Nature knocks you out, just one small sniff will make you shout.
Sandra's
smelling salts.
Now, back to the McCoy Mystery Hour and Belinda Ruggles.
Could someone get me an aspirin? Never mind. Here's a bottle on the table.
In the Curse of the Pharaoh's Scarab.
What's wrong?
Miss Dandridge just took a sleeping pill. It is the morning after the murder at Dunhill Manor, and a pall has fallen over the household. We now join Miss Ruggles and Lord Pendergast in the library.
Inspector Walmer from Scotland Yard will be arriving any time now. I sent Jeeves immediately after our capture. Mr. Coakley is locked in the cellar, and the door is being guarded by McGillicuddy. Coakley will swing from the gallows for his crime.
I still cannot believe Lieutenant Coakley murdered the Colonel. I would like to talk with him. And what of the scarab?
No one is going to speak to him until the police arrive here. I must go check on the prisoner. We have not discovered where Coakley hid the scarab.
Miss Ruggles?
Alice?
Yes, I need to speak with you. I know I was upset with Archie, but he is not a murderer.
But I saw him standing over your grandfather with his own service revolver.
Please, Miss Ruggles, you must help Archie.
I will go to see him.
Thank you.
Lord Pendergast?
Miss Ruggles, what are you doing here in the cellar?
Why are you still here?
I came to ask Mr. Coakley a few questions. I am finished here. Shall we leave the cellar?
After I speak with Lieutenant Coakley. Alone.
Mr. McGillicuddy will be right outside the door.
Miss Ruggles, you must help me.
Archie, what happened?
I came down to the library to take the scarab and get rid of it.
And you were confronted by the Colonel?
He had already opened the safe and removed the scarab. I think we both wanted the scarab out of the house. But the Colonel started to lose his temper. He pointed his finger at me, then looked beyond me and said, "What are you doing here?" Then everything went black. When I came to, the Colonel was lying on the floor shot, with my service revolver in my right hand.
Had you brought your revolver with you last night?
That's the thing. I had left my revolver in my room. I had not brought it out of my room since I arrived yesterday.
Good morning, Miss Ruggles. Your crime-solving exploits have reached Scotland Yard. I am Police Inspector Harry Walmer. Lord Pendergast sent for me.
He'll take over from here.
Certainly, but I believe you have the wrong person in custody.
I will reach my own conclusion, Miss Ruggles. Thank you.
Then I shall take my leave. Gentlemen.
Miss Ruggles.
Millie, what do you want, dear?
I saw something. Lord Pendergast and McGillicuddy talking in the garden after he left Lady Pendergast and you last night.
Talking?
Arguing. The Lord grabbed McGillicuddy by his jacket with clenched fists. McGillicuddy threw off the Lord's arms and stormed away.
And what of the scarab?
I don't know.
I shall go see Lady Pendergast.
They're in the garden.
Oh, Belinda. How are you?
hello, Evelyn. Alice, madam, how are you holding up?
I am an old woman who has lost the only man I have ever loved. He was always my dashing young colonel. I close my eyes and I can still see him. So you see, Miss Ruggles, I will never really lose him.
And I have lost my love before we had a chance.
Not yet, you haven't. First, we have to find the Pharaoh's snarab.
Excuse me, Belinda?
She said the Pharaoh's snarab.
If we find the snarab, we will find the...
Murderer?
Right.
What are you going to do, Belinda?
I think I'll take a nap.
What?
Well, I believe all great sleuths put their mind to rest to help solve a problem. Millie?
Yes, m'lady. I'll take Miss Ruggles to her room.
Do I have to go to my room for a nap?
Well, that's an excellent idea. Rest your worried head.
The sleeping pill is taking effect. I'll sit her in a chair.
Come, Granny. I'm sure you could use some sleep.
Certainly. Come on, Evelyn. We're all taking a snooze.
Oh, heck. Why not?
Sonny, help.
While the women of the manor rest, the men are still very active.
Inspector Walmer, I understand you have spoken at length with Lieutenant Coakley.
That's true, Lord Pendergrast. I'm convinced he is both the thief and the murderer. Miss Ruggles?
Miss Ruggles has passed out.
What?
Miss Ruggles has passed out.
Sonny, fill in.
Yes, I was going to take a nap, but I wanted to speak with you first, Inspector.
Go on, Miss Ruggly.
Oh, you jokester. You know my name is Ruggles. However, did he tell you what happened last night?
He did.
And that there was a third person in the library?
Preposterous.
I'm back. Preposterous, you say?
Well, I know I was in my bedchamber with my wife.
McGillicuddy was in the gardener's house.
Ha! And what was he doing there?
Sleeping?
How do you know?
Because I was with him.
Millie? Goethe?
Are you kidding?
And what were you doing there?
We were talking.
Is that what you call it in Scotland?
Where the hell are we?
You are in Dunhill Manor, and I must ask you to watch your language, Walmer. Kate, we're here.
Thank you, Lewis. Then where was Jeeves the butler?
Mr. Trumbull was in his office near the front door completing his task.
Inspector, did you say Jeeves's last name was Trumbull?
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't see that one coming. And how do you know he was in his office?
Because he was the one who alerted me of the gunshots. He also had my hunting rifle when I met him on the steps.
That is correct. And Lord Pendergast's hunting rifle is kept in the front office. Kate's falling again.
Grab her, Robinson.
I've got her.
You got me there, big boy.
Where are we?
Dearie, we're at Dunhill Manor, and you call yourself a police inspector.
But are we certain?
Yes, I was in the office with Jeeves going over my chores for the next day.
That leaves only Lieutenant Coakley unaccounted. He was alone in his bedroom.
He wasn't alone. I was with Archie.
Am I the only person actually sleeping in this house?
I was sleeping so sound because I took Sanders' sleeping pills. They work like magic.
You don't have to tell me, babe.
Somebody tell me where we are.
Dunhill Manor!
After a lively exchange, everyone, including Lieutenant Archibald Coakley, gathers in the library. Miss Ruggles seems to have solved the riddle. Have you? Before we reach the conclusion of tonight's mystery, the curse of the Pharaoh's Scarab, one final word from our sponsors, Sanders Pharmaceuticals, makers of Sanders smelling salts and sleeping pills.
So remember, if you're plumb tuckered out but can't fall asleep, don't call the Sandman or start counting sheep. It's time for Sanders sleeping pills.
When you're tired but just can't sleep, take just one pill, then you're out deep.
Sanders
Sleeping pills.
For other times when you feel like you've been kicked in the head by a longhorn steer, let Sanders smelling salts wrestle you awake.
When Mother Nature knocks you out, just one small sniff will make you shout.
Sanders
Sleepy smells.
Smelling salts.
Geesh, Petunia.
works like magic.
And now, the exciting conclusion of the Belinda Ruggles mystery, the curse of the Pharaoh's Scarab. Scarab.
Well, Miss Ruggles, everyone is now here in the library. Inspector?
Here's Lieutenant Coakley, but the handcuffs and my revolver will make sure he will not escape.
I will not try to run. I am innocent.
Archie, I believe you.
You do? That means everything.
Let's get started, Miss Ruggles. I don't have all day.
Now what?
Your star is sleeping again.
Oh, I'll read it myself.
I got it, Missy.
What? No, wait!
Thank you, Mr. Warmer. Let us begin with the scarab. Lord Pendergast, would you like to tell us why it was so important to own the scarab?
Over the years, the family's finances have fallen on hard times. I thought if I could find the scarab and sell it to the British Museum of Egyptology, it would solve everything. I spent a great deal of money on unsuccessful expeditions to find the scarab.
When Lord Pendergast suggested I visit Dunhill Manor to discuss the scarab, I was exhilarated. I've been obsessed with Egyptology since I was a young boy.
That is what you discussed upon Archie's arrival to Dunhill Manor yesterday.
Yes, but I had another idea. I would give it to Alice, and in that way Lord Pendergast could have all the funds. My family's finances are solid, and I did not need it.
Archie, I did not know.
Then why try to take it from the safe?
With all the fighting, I started to believe the curse.
After Alice refused to sell the scarab, Lord Pendergast spoke with Mr. McGillicuddy about removing it and selling it.
But I refused to do it. I owe me Lord everything, but I could not do it.
I decided not to do anything. I could not take my daughter's own engagement gift. I told Evelyn everything that night.
I told him I already knew about our finances. It did not change my love for him.
Archie was too much in love with Alice and respected the Pendergasts too much to harm the Colonel.
Then who killed the Colonel, Miss Ruggles?
There she blows.
Miss Dandridge is up.
I will tell you who did it. We knew it had to be a man to strike Lieutenant Coakley with a single blow to render him unconscious.
The only other men in the manor were McGillicuddy and Jeeves.
But they all claimed to be with someone.
Then either Goethe or Millie is lying.
Well, Goethe?
I am neat liar.
What do you have to say for yourself, Millie?
Inspector, on my mother's grave I swear I'm not lying.
One of them must be lying.
I wouldn't trust either one of them. You Irish she-bitch. I was with Mac last night. He is... My boyfriend, oh yeah.
And she is me sassy lassie.
I was with Jeeves last night. I love him.
That you love him, Millie, is true. But you were not with Jeeves last night.
But I was.
No, you weren't. When I came down the steps with Jeeves and Miss Ruggles, we walked past the office and you weren't there.
Oh no.
The question then is, why would you lie, young lady?
Because Jeeves was not in his office. He was in the library. Weren't you, Mr. Trumbull?
Jeeves?
You fired my poor parents after years of service. They deserve better.
And the scarab would have given them financial security.
Yes, I took Lieutenant Coakley's revolver in case I needed it. I knew he would not be wearing it.
But you didn't expect a visitor.
The Colonel wasn't a problem, but Coakley made it even easier.
Yes, Jeeves. You knocked him out, shot the Colonel with the Lieutenant's own revolver, stole the scarab, and framed the Lieutenant for everything.
Who's the murderer?
Wait a minute. I've lost my place again. There's scene 5 in Sanders.
So the murderer is Sanders.
No, that's the sponsor, Sanders Sleeping Pills.
Pills? You mean the Colonel was poisoned too?
Oh, good God.
Yes, Sanders was Jeeves' real name before he was adopted by the Trumbulls.
Yes, I found the pills in Jeeves' satchel, and they were more potent than sleeping pills. And I found the Irish Socialist papers in his satchel.
How could you, Jeeves? My God! An anarchist in Dunhill Manor?
Antichrist? I know Antichrist. Them there ratings aren't mine. They're Millie's. She wanted to use some of the money for the Irish Republican Army.
You lily-livered limey.
And that is why Jeeves shot the Colonel.
Wait, that's not correct. We heard the gunshot. The Colonel was shot.
But I thought he was poisoned too.
Sure, why not? Jeeves poisoned him. I found the cyanide pills in his satchel.
That's correct. Shot with a poisoned bullet placed in Lieutenant Coakley's stolen revolver by Jeeves, also known as Sanders, who wanted to steal and sell the scarab to use the money to support his adoptive parents, Mr. and Mrs. Trumbull, who were fired by Lord Pendergast, and to support the IRA to make Millie, his Irish freedom-fighting girlfriend, happy. How do you like that one? Arrest him, Inspector!
Sanders?
Also known as Jeeves Trumbull.
On behalf of Scotland Yard, I arrest you for the murder of...
Colonel Charles Barrett.
Colonel Barrett.
So it was the butler in the library with a revolver. I didn't have a clue.
It's always the butler.
I believe I, Belinda Ruggles, have just solved another mystery.
So ends another exciting and surprising adventure of Miss Belinda Ruggles. Lieutenant Coakley and Alice were married 6 months later, followed shortly by Gerta Snyder and Malcolm McGillicuddy. The scarab was sold to the British Museum of Egyptology, and the proceeds of the sale were enough to secure the future of Dunhill Manor. Despite Jeeves' actions, the Pendergasts sent a monetary donation to the elderly Trumbulls. As for Miss Belinda Ruggles, she was off to Castle O'Toole in the county of Limerick, Ireland, to solve the mystery of the legend of the Lady in the Green Mist. But that is a story for another time. For tonight, we bid you farewell, and remember, Sanders Pharmaceuticals, makers of Sanders smelling salts and sleeping pills, works like magic. This has been a recording of the McCoy Broadcasting Company in New York City, New York.
And stop. That's a wrap. Feldman, erase this tape, or better yet, flush it down the John.
That was quite a hoot.
Glad you enjoyed it, Tex.
Thanks, young partner.
You're welcome, Tex.
Now let's go, folks. Get out of here.
Miss Dandridge, you all right?
Of course. Catherine Dandridge is a professional.
Professional prima donna.
You know, Mr. Wilson, you're a mean, unmannered cuss.
How dare you?
And you're fired.
You can't fire me. I quit. You'll be hearing from my agent.
And you're going to feel the tip of my boot in your rear end.
Come on, Dolly. I'll treat you to some cheesecake at Lindy's.
Okay, Sonny, but I like the Danish.
Then Danish it is. And afterwards, the Roxy.
Miss Dandridge, would you like to get some victuals?
I'd love some. Call me Kate.
Well, Katie, how about you and me have a regular whoop-to-do? You mind, Blue Bonnet?
I don't mind, Uncle Tex. Mr. Robinson will escort me home, won't you?
Why don't you come along with us?
Oh, yes. Well,
I'll be chaperoned home by Mr. Robinson.
My pleasure, Mr. McCoy, but I have to be home to Mother by 10.
Hey, Robinson, tell your mother I said hi.
Sure. Hey, wait a minute. That was a mean tease. Why, I oughta...
Oh, your mother I said hi, too.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Well, Feldman,
Well, Miss Ramsey,
last show of the season.
now summer vacation.
Well, you deserve a good one.
On my salary, all I can afford is a day at Coney Island.
Oh, I almost forgot. Tex thought you did how did he put it? A rootin' tootin' job. Anyway, he left this envelope with your bonus money. I think you'll be able to do better than Coney Island. Turn off the lights and lock up when you leave.
Have a great summer, boss. Holy moly! I never saw so much money before in my life! Next stop, Hollywood!
Oh, Feldman, did I see the lights still on for the recorder?
What? Oh my god! I never stopped the behind the scenes tape. This ends the recording.